competition with the Freak and Wild Thing Wayne Tay, the Psychodelixx, in a return bout against the pair of Rikishi Fatu and Samoa Joe. The following non-title tag team contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first at a combined weight of 675 pounds, the team of Rikishi Fatu and Samoa Joe.
So, here's the deets on this match. The two teams have only met once before, last year, just before the Sweet Revenge Summer Tour, in a non-title match same as this. But Rikishi and Joe go into this one with a win over the Freak and Wild Thing. And I guess, Johnny, this rematch was Sylvia's idea. Maybe a chance to even the score against these supersized Samoans.
Exactamundo, Wally. The fact that their last clash was non-title means zip to her and the boys. The Freak and Wild Thing know they're against a wall here, and a second win for the other side would be an embarrassment and an excuse for Rikishi and Joe to start, sniffing around for a title match. So losing isn't an option for the Snarl Tag Champs. Their opponents accompanied by Sylvia Strong at a combined weight of 478 pounds. The reigning Rwl Sn Rl Tag Team Champions, the Freak and Wild Thing Wayne Tay, the Psychodelixx.
I got to give it to you, GB. Your lady has fine taste in tag teams. The Freak and the Wild Thing, the Sn Rl Tag Team Champions, the Psychodelixx. Haven't seen them in action for a couple of weeks. Nice to see them back on the scene looking fresh and ready to go against Rikishi and Samoa Joe. I'll tell you what, they've already got one win over the Freak and the Wild Thing in a non-title match. They definitely do want to even the score, and I'm pretty sure they're going to do exactly that, because the Freak and the Wild Thing, they don't lose a whole bunch of matches. Well, they've met before, and it was rough. This time it's going to be Rikishi Fatu starting it off against the Freak. And all the tensions are running high in this one. Charles Lucero rings the bell. Rikishi Fatu ambushes the referee. Belly to back suplex. Now going to work on the Freak. The referee out to lunch. There's a knee to the midsection from Rikishi Fatu. The Freak counters with a hard right. Referee Charles Lucero comes to his senses. A clothesline from the Freak to Rikishi Fatu. Set of short kicks to the head as the Freak beats it out of town. Turns it over to Wild Thing Wayne Tay. Sylvia Strong standing by. Your girlfriend, GB. Yes, sir. Rikishi Fatu whipped to the rope, over the top rope, and out onto the floor. Incidentally, did you guys, like knock boots last week? I'm kidding. Anyway, Rikishi Fatu back up on his feet. Don't look at me that way, GB. All right, here we go. The Wild Thing locks it up with Rikishi Fatu. Rikishi counters, slams the Wild Thing down to the canvas. Wild Thing back up, right into a power slam from Rikishi Fatu. Rikishi starting to assert himself in this matchup. Wild Thing counters with a hard elbow to the midsection. He sure felt that one. There's an elbow to the face. Kick to the gut. Wild Thing sets up the neck breaker and nails it. Down goes Rikishi Fatu. Samoa Joe begging to be let in here. Wild Thing not going to let it happen. Wild Thing Wayne Tay whips him to the far right corner. Hard right hand from the Wild Thing. There's another one. And now a little game of tug-of-war with the arm of Rikishi Fatu. Wild Thing Wayne Tay smashes his head into the turnbuckle. He's busted open already. Wow. The Psychodelixx, I guess a little bit of vacation time did them some good too. Rikishi staggers out of the corner. Wild Thing slams him face first down, reverse Russian leg sweep. That was really neat. There's a stomp to the back of Rikishi Fatu. As the Wild Thing beats it out of town, turns it over to the Freak. The Sn Rl Tag Team Champions working like a well-oiled machine here against Rikishi and Samoa Joe, who hasn't even had a chance to get in yet. There's a hard forearm from the Freak to Rikishi Fatu. Rikishi runs right into the Freak front cradle, rounded up over the top rope, hung up on the rope, and down he goes. There's a stomp to the midsection from the Freak. Up the middle rope, flying crossbody across the back of Rikishi Fatu. Another set of short kicks to the head. And here's a quick pin and a hook of the leg. One. Just a one that time. Rikishi for 2. Might be busted open, but he's still got a lot of steam in the tank. Here comes Wild Thing laying tag again. The Wild Thing takes himself to the top turnbuckle. Off we go. Elbow right across the chest of Rikishi. Here's another pin, but too close to the rope, says the referee. Now Rikishi getting his head beat against the canvas by the Wild Thing. There's a stomp. There's a kick. Rikishi takes him down. One arm. Rikishi for 2 catches the right. Delivers a knee to the midsection. Man, Rikishi can take a beating, Another knee to the midsection from the Wild Thing. Rikishi whipped to the far right corner again. He missed it, and now he's in a seated position, and unassisted alley-oop out of the corner from Rikishi for 2. Rikishi paying it back, beating the head of the Wild Thing against the canvas as he finally beats it out of town, and Samoa Joe, the Samoan submission machine, gets his first action in the matchup. Wild Thing Wayne Tate gets a hold of him, has him up for the, whoa, that's a display of power. There's that long stalling vertical suplex, and he's got him up for a nice long time, and down we go. Samoa Joe definitely feeling that one. The Wild Thing Wayne Tate rounds up Samoa Joe, takes him to the Psychodelixx corner, smashes his head into the turnbuckle. But Samoa Joe counters with an elbow, charges, running boot to the face of the Wild Thing. Here comes Rikishi again. And their team's pretty efficient too. Here comes the Freak one more time. Fresh partners all the way around. Kick to the midsection. The Freak countered into a back body drop by Rikishi for 2. Rikishi turning it back over to Samoa Joe. I guess the strategy is working pretty well for both teams. A snapmare from Samoa Joe, a chop across the back, and a kick right to the chest. The Freak on the wrong side of town and in pretty big trouble. Elbow right across the chest from Samoa Joe. Joe rounds him up. The Freak counters with a jawjacker, backs off Samoa Joe. There's a running boot in retaliation. Off. Ooh, beautiful moonsault from the Freak. A cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, not even a 2. Rikishi for 2 right there to break it up. Hard right hands, mounted punches from the Freak. But Samoa Joe a stomp to the midsection. He goes after Rikishi for 2 as well. Another reverse Russian leg sweep. And a set of hard right hands for Rikishi as well. The Freak taking care of both partners at the same time. These guys are crazy. I'm not kidding. The Psychodelixx are something else. That's why they're Snarl Tag Team Champions. Samoa Joe with a chop across the chest of the Freak. Rounds him up over the shoulder, takes a walk with him across town, and pitches him to the outside. I thought he was going to hang him up on the top rope too, but no, pitched him out to the floor. Samoa Joe with a stomp to the arm of the Freak. Joe rounds him up, a chop across the chest, a couple of quick jabs and a headbutt. Down goes the Freak again. Referee counting, of course. There's a stomp from Samoa Joe. And the Samoan submission machine with a bow and arrow stretch on the Freak on the outside, killing more time as the referee continues to count. Quick counter from the Freak, but Samoa Joe counters as well. Both men back up to their feet. The Freak rolls back inside the ring. Sylvia Strong watching with keen interest here. The Freak with a shot to the back of Samoa Joe, whips him back out over onto the apron. And this time the Freak gets hung up on the top rope. The Freak takes in the Wild Thing. Samoa Joe ready for him. There's a right, there's a left, there's a throat chop. And the Freak steps out of the way, lets the Wild Thing do his thing. Another quick counter and a headbutt right to Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe rounded up again. Rikishi for 2, not at his corner, and that's not good. There's a DDT to the Wild Thing from Samoa Joe. Rikishi finally back up to a standing position, and what a set of shots from Samoa Joe, taking the Wild Thing down. Rikishi for 2 just in time for the tag. Wild Thing's laid out. There's a stomp to the chest from Rikishi. Rikishi rounds him up, locks him up. Hard whip to the ropes, into the corner, kick to the gut. And this does not bode well for the Wild Thing. You know what's coming up next. And the Wild Thing is not gonna, oh God, stop it. Oh man. The Wild Thing catching a stink face from Rikishi for 2. Rikishi escorts him to his team's corner, smashes the Wild Thing's head into the turnbuckle, tags in Samoa Joe, double team incoming for the Wild Thing. Stereo super kicks The Wild Thing won't take as Samoa Joe takes over for his team. Drives a knee into the leg of the Wild Thing a couple of times. There's a stomp to the gut and a kick to the back. Samoa Joe firing back here against the Psychodelixx. Wild Thing rounded up again. Wild Thing is squirted towards the corner, head first into the turnbuckle. Here's a tag to Rikishi for 2. There's a snapmare from Samoa Joe. He sets him up, and there's a kick right to the face of the Wild Thing from Rikishi for 2. Rikishi with a set of kicks to the Wild Thing, and again dribbling his head against the canvas like a basketball. Wild Thing back up, locks it up with Rikishi, a knee to the midsection. Tongan death grip time. This is not good for Rikishi for 2. Wild Thing's won a whole lot of matches with this one. Samoa Joe coming to the rescue, but it is too late. The bell is rung. The Wild Thing picking up the win for the Psychodelixx by submission. Wow.
The time, 8 minutes and 12 seconds. Your winners by submission, the Psychodelixx.
Well, all right, this submission win for the Freak and the Wild Thing evens the score with Rikishi and Samoa Joe at 1 apiece. And, well, the Tag Team Championships weren't even in question here. But what a match back and forth. Wild Thing won't take, definitely choking out Rikishi for 2 in retaliation for that stink face. I know that's exactly the reason he did it. Ladies and gentlemen, when we return, Ballarat Jack Jones, Mr. Popularity, to face the American Dream Dusty Rhodes when we return.